Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the SaskTel Curling Stadium live coverage of the IG Wealth Management Western Showdown. Monday morning means it's time for the semifinals. My name is Sean Joyce. I'm joined for this morning's broadcast by Jeff Chambers. Jeff, we've got, really both semifinals are rematches of A event games with the other A semifinal, Adine and Jung. The two international teams in the field played each other in the very first draw. Gauthier and Cooey, who we have in our game, played Friday night in their second game for both teams. Gauthier came out with the win there and did so on the way to capturing the A event berth. Cooey came through the B.
Yes, a little rematch. The Gauthier team, a young team out of Victoria, BC, and looking to make a statement right here in Swift Current as they've won all their games so far. Very impressive streak. Started off by beating Pleiter, then Cooey, then Flash, and then Pleiter again to get to the semifinal action. So they're looking to keep this adrenaline going, and hopefully we're in for a great game this morning.
By virtue of winning the A event berth, they do have last rock here in the first end of play. Through the preliminary round, the two teams will draw to the button. In the playoffs, it is the team that came through the higher event. So Gauthier with last rock, throwing the red stones. And that hit looks like it might have just rolled off the rings. Cooey feeling either it's too close to leave it there or maybe it's biting. Hard to tell from the overhead camera. Cooey team registered out of Calgary. This is the lead, Bradley Thiessen. The second, Bradley Thiessen. The lead is Carrick Martin. Tyler Tardy playing third, and Kevin Cooey is the skip. And I was working one of Gauthier's games earlier in the week, and they are listed out of Victoria. And I'm trying to remember the connections, and I haven't looked it up yet. I know Jacques from Manitoba originally, and I'm not entirely sure that the team that he's playing with here out of Victoria isn't the remnants, or at least two of the players, remnants from Tyler Tardy's old team.
Yes, that could very well be, yeah.
I thought I heard that somewhere, and I haven't looked it up, and nobody on the chat could confirm it for me. This is the second, Jason Ginter, the lead, Alex Horvath with the brush down. The third is Sterling Middleton, and the skip, Jacques Gauthier, looking for the hit and perhaps flop under cover here. They might have let that get away from them. Catches the guard, and with that quiet weight, does hold his shooter in the rings now. We've got another one where it's tough to tell from the overhead camera, that yellow on the right-hand side as you look at it from the overhead. That might be biting.
Yeah, I would guess just from the experience of seeing them that that one would be a biter. So I believe this just to sit 3 and it's much open house, but to sit 3, there's a good chance to they get through to a force right on the first end. But lots of rocks to come and lots of action yet. So
Thiessen will try to hit this right on the nose. They want to keep some separation there. There's definitely a double available on the 2 that we know for sure are in the house. You have to think, you saw Gauthier's signal, let's try to come across the top of this and maybe make the double and spin further over. He's playing this like he's pretty sure that other one's in. You just straight up play the double if you weren't worried about that rock being in the house. But it matters, you know, that little biter, if it's in, you got to make 2 doubles to get back to a blank situation.
this looks pretty solid right off the bat here, just as he called it.
And does get enough of a spin up that he started to get those rocks a little closer together. Just got the one out the back. It's still in play, but out of the rings. Tyler Tardy will be looking to roll back towards the center line, but they do have to be a little careful now with that Yellowstone just out the back. Boy, this one's really starting to move. They're gonna have to really go to make contact. It's gonna slide by. Interesting now. This might change things for Gauthier. He has to think it's in if he's hitting it, but you hit it, your 2 stones are going to be close enough together for a double. You could simply split the house and try to hold the deuce.
Yes, in this curling game, things can change so fast. Within 2 shots, we're going to see difference of literally 5 points. It goes from sitting 3 yellow to most likely sitting 2 red, just like that.
Gauthier came through the A event, as we mentioned earlier, won his qualifying berth, would have been Saturday afternoon, and had to sit for over 24 hours waiting for the qualifiers last night, the quarterfinals. Actually had a very strong game in that quarterfinal, controlled most of the game, and then Rylan Kleider, down 4 coming home, managed to get the game into an extra end, and here's another flashed hit.
Both over curled on that one side, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of curl out there, and I don't think they're expecting those rocks to grab so much. And you get out to the fresh stuff out nice. I know it's the first end and everything, but might have just caught them off guard. And see, Kevin's giving them a little more ice on this one, and going to make sure he puts a good rotation on this to make sure that they don't lose this rock.
Did take the stone out of the back, so nothing to jam on here. No worries that way. Makes the hit, does roll to the center. It's flat, but there might still be a double there. He doesn't have to move the second one very far. Indication from Jacques, maybe looking just nose hit, thinking if he can exchange a pair of nose hits, there's a better angle.
This is quite a bit less ice on this one, Sean, so I'm not sure if they're picking... Oh, he's definitely throwing firm, yes.
Yeah, he's going for the double. And it kind of looked like that wasn't curl. I think that was all release. That looked like it was moving as it came out of his fingers.
Yeah, a couple sloppy, I think, releases here early on by both teams there, and with this curling ice, it's really going to curl. We've been talking about it quite a bit in our other broadcasts, but for club curling, this Jason Broughton and his crew have really got these rocks and the ice moving quite a bit more than what you'd normally see in club curling, and they wanted to give a really good experience of that extra turn that they see out on arena ice, and maybe it's even catching these top guys.
The rollout gives Kevin Cooey an opportunity to draw here in the first end, and you know, you play the practice session before, and I know that they didn't have to draw to the button here. We got a chance to see a little bit of the practice session, and looked like they still played primarily the same types of shots they would play in a normal practice, where the drawing to the button. Still nice in the first end. As the skip, you always like a chance to establish your draw to the button. So good opportunity here for Kevin Cooey to just reaffirm that in his mind. Yes, they've already played a number of games here, 5 games I believe it is for the Cooey team, and he's played this shot probably 20 or 30 times already this weekend. But you still love having that chance to play it with no risk in the first end. Puts it almost straight across from the rock that we think might be biting, just outside the edge of the 12. So no double here. Jacques Gauthier will look to hit right on the nose. And then assuming that Kevin Cooey noses it again, with last rock, does Gauthier make an attempt at the double and roll out? It's a little risky. If you ever go by the second stone, it could be a steal. Rusher's just cleaning this now, picking it up a little more firmly. Makes the hit. We'll roll a couple of feet towards that outside yellow.
Definitely a lot of curling action here out there with the rocks. Quite surprised just with the amount of room that they're having to take and getting the inside rolls with. So the guys are going to definitely have to keep an eye on it. I'm not sure if they repapered the rocks. Normally they don't do that necessarily going into the final games, but there's something that's causing a lot of movement out there, and both teams kind of got set off by it so far this end.
Well, I'm glad you were the one that mentioned it. I was thinking it. That, yes, you don't very often see it in an event like this. Certainly, it didn't look like they were moving this hard last night. You wouldn't think they'd do it between the quarterfinal and the semifinal. They certainly wouldn't do it without telling the players. But it still, even at that, would take some getting used to. Kevin Cooey makes the hit, stays right there. Gauthier put the broom down. I'm not sure whether they're playing the double. The double doesn't help you unless you can roll out. Now, there is a way to make this, and you saw it actually earlier when they were playing the first double and spun up. If he hits the first one a little bit thick, comes to the top of that second stone, he can spin his shooter out of the rings.
I think he indicated that they're just going for the one, but a lot of times you'll see the teams with that much room go for the draw, and I'm actually quite surprised because this is the spot that got them with the overcurl earlier, but looks like it was probably just a throwing issue. As you say, he's very confident with that.
Makes the hit, stays in the 12-foot. Put 1 point on the board for Jacques Gauthier. He's got the lead over Kevin Cooey. Cooey with the last rock when we come back.